Alright guys, this is Zaxter99, and a couple years ago I showed you how I fixed one of my Keurig coffee makers. You can search for that. I believe it was a B70 Keurig that wasn't making a full cup. Now I've went out and purchased, after that one, about 2.5 years ago, I think something like that, I went out and purchased a brand new Bunn coffee maker. These are my favorite coffee makers because they make coffee quick. And because they're reliable, or they always have been for me. I bought my parents one that's still going after 10 years later. So I bought a couple of good Bunn coffee makers that have lasted and lasted and lasted. So now, of course, the one that I'm buying is having a problem, and it has been for a while. I've been meaning to look at it, and I am going to show you how to fix this and hope that it works. So what happens with my particular Bunn coffee maker is that when you open the water reservoir and you go to pour water in here, it doesn't matter really how far I'm opening this. The Bunn coffee maker should not be making coffee while this lid is open. It should not start making coffee until you close it. But a while back, my Bunn coffee maker started brewing the coffee while the lid is open, and while I'm pouring water in here, it would start brewing, obviously making a mess and having coffee all over the heater down there, the heater element down here, and pouring off. Before I got water poured in, I'd have a mess. So obviously the only choice when you're doing that is to get you could put a cup under there or something like that, but I always just put the coffee maker under there and clean the mess up later. So obviously a little bit of a frustration. Still works perfect on making great coffee, by the way. It's just not letting you pour the water in here. So after doing a little bit of research, found this solution, which sounds like it might be a good solution. I don't know, but if it works, I'll let you know. We'll see. So what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and you don't even have to remove it. I'm not even going to turn it off or anything. I'm just going to go ahead and you can lift this right off. I don't know what exact model this is, but if your Bunn looks like this and is doing the same thing, you might try this. So this just pops off all the way around. There's no latches, there's no screws, there's nothing. It just pops off on the top. And in here, this white film, right, is what we want to try to clean up. Not so much right here where it's at, where the water's at, but there is supposed to be a little ring that we want to clean out. And that little ring is right here. So we pop this thing off. In this hole, we want to go ahead and try to clean that with some vinegar. And this little ring right here, this little rubber ring that fits in that hole, we want to go ahead and try to clean that up with some vinegar. So we're going to go ahead and clean this whole mess up. I'll show you when I'm done cleaning it real quick with a rag and some white vinegar. Especially this this rubber washer right here needs to be cleaned up. We'll also clean up that hole and see if this stops our leak. Alright guys, so now as you can see, I didn't get it perfect. You might use a little bit stronger cleaner in here. I just wanted to use some white vinegar and clean it up a little bit. As you can see, I got most of it cleaned up pretty well. You also want to make sure you're not leaving any shreds of paper towel or anything up inside here so it doesn't get in this hole and plug it up. But on this part here, part that snaps on right here, when you're cleaning it, you can take this little rubber out of here and pop it back in. So, and as you can see, it just pops right back in there. So, and you want to make sure obviously it's still pliable, still, so that's pretty clean now for the actual rubber part. And evidently this part, when it gets all that white crust on it, then that's what'll cause this problem. So we're going to go ahead and snap this back into place. And as soon as I get this coffee drink here, we're going to go ahead and try to see it later, see if it fixed the problem of my coffee leaking everywhere when I poured it in before I got it all poured in this reservoir. So So that's how that should work, evidently. When water's in here, it just lifts up like that to let the water drain down inside there. Alright, so we'll go ahead and try that, see if that works, and I'll be back. Alright guys, we're now back after I've cleaned the deposits out of the top of this Bunn coffee maker and cleaned that little rubber gasket that goes down. We're going to go ahead and test this out now and see if it continues to start pouring coffee or making coffee before we actually get all the water dumped in. So we're going to go ahead and turn on the heater element down here. Again, the switch is just for the heater down here. Make sure that our power switch is turned on in the back, and it is. And we're going to go ahead and turn the water in. And like I say, it wouldn't matter where I put the top lid before. It would, every time it would actually start brewing before I got all the water poured in. So it was extremely chaotic and always seemed to make a mess. We're going to see if that cleaning, like I showed you earlier, has fixed it. So by this point, I got about half the water in. It had started brewing before. At this point, it would already start brewing, and it wouldn't let me get all the water in. So now I've got all the water in to the top, and we're going to just go ahead and test it here and leave the lid open and see if it starts brewing here before I close the lid. It is still not brewing anything. Still not brewing anything. And by this time, every time, I would have already had a huge mess here before. So this looks like it did fix the problem. It was a 5-minute fix. And people were telling me I needed to go out and buy a new Bunn coffee maker, which these are kind of expensive. They're around $100. But that 5-minute cleanup, especially that little rubber gasket there, looks like it did work. And as you can see, it is still not brewing. So this looks like it works excellent. And now if we close our lid, it should start brewing at this point, like it's supposed to. And at that point, that's where it starts brewing, and that's exactly what we want. So another coffee maker problem fixed and resolved here, and I've showed you how to do it here with a Bunn coffee maker. Now, if for some reason this did not work for you, keep in mind that Bunn does have a warranty on all their coffee makers for 3 years. And even after 3 years, they tell you that they'll actually get you a new Bunn coffee maker for, they'll give you partial credit on getting a new Bunn coffee maker, so they won't charge you full price even after the warranty's expired. So it's good to know that they do stand behind their product. So that's that. Another coffee maker fixed and problem resolved. If you have any questions or comments, be sure to leave them below. If you like this, if it helped you, please go ahead and give me a thumbs up. If you didn't like it for some reason, go ahead and give me a thumbs down, but please don't just give me a thumbs down just to do it. Go ahead and leave me why you didn't like it, why this didn't fix your problem. Maybe we can help you out. Be sure you subscribe if you want to as well. This is Zaxter99 signing off here, and enjoy your coffee.